Hello again and welcome to another Mordian Glory Bolt Action Battle Report. Today we have another late war scenario for you guys. It is going to be France 1944 and the Allies are continuing to try and push off the beach of Normandy. If you've watched the last couple of battle reports, the Americans gave it a go. They failed spectacularly. The Brits came in, the 8th Army boys, and they managed to sort of extend the beachhead a little bit. And now the Allies have pushed out and they've managed to link up with some of their airborne assets. So it's going to be an 1,000-point game with the British Airborne with a pinch of armoured support taking on some regular German Grenadiers. So here we have 1,000 points of Airborne and we've got Simon back in the studio with us. Simon, say hi.
Hello.
So Simon used his Italians in the last battle report, but he's sick of being the meme faction of Bolt Action, so he's decided to bring his Airborne out to give the Germans a damn good thrashing. All right, Simon, where do you want to start?
So we'll start on the left. We've got my first lieutenant there. He's got an absolutely fantastic tash. I don't know if you can pick that up.
Oh yeah, no, I've got the angle.
It's pretty cool. Then we've got 3 sections of 10-man Airborne. One of the sections has got an NCO with a submachine gun.
Very nice.
We have a 2-man sniper team. Again, that's a veteran because I've got to take everything as veteran if I can with the Airborne. We have a medium mortar with a spotter. Again, like I said, everything's got to be veteran that can be taken with the Airborne. We've also got a light howitzer with a spotter.
Very nice. The old pack howitzer, very good.
We've got a recce jeep with just 1 machine gun. We've got the 3 artillery spotter. And then we have a regular Cromwell tank because that is the coolest tank available to the British.
You love your Cromwell, don't you? I'm a big Matilda fan. I've not got myself one yet, but I definitely need a Matilda for my 8th Army.
So I'm hoping with them all being veteran and obviously not the Italian national rules. They might be a little bit more reliable than they were last time, but you never know with the Mordian bullshit. So we'll see how it goes.
Now, speaking of national trait, do you know what you're taking for your Brits?
I'm going to take the extra shots for the rifles.
Rapid fire, excellent. So this is a really, really cool army. This is actually your first Bolt Action now before you got into the Italians and the American Airborne, wasn't it?
Yep, before I decided to lose every game.
Now, I really like this army, and it really does fit today's theme because obviously the Airborne have dropped in. They've on D-Day they've been messing around the countryside, causing all sorts of problems. But now the Allies have begun to start pushing off the beach, and that's when the Cromwell and some of the other armour has been able to turn up. So it's a really good list, Simon. Thank you for coming down.
Always a pleasure.
And then we will take a look at the Germans now. So here we have 1,000 points of the Germans, and I've gone for something a little bit different than I normally go for. I've gone for all regulars. Normally I like to take a bit of a smorgasbord of regular, veteran and inexperienced, but today we are going for all regular all the way across the board. So with the core of the force, we've got 5 squads of infantry. Each one of these squads has got 7 men in it. There's an NCO with an STG-44, a regular guy with an SMG, a Panzerfaust and an LMG team, and then just 2 rifle blokes. So they can do a little bit of everything. They've got a Panzerfaust in there to at least sort of scare tanks. They've got a couple of assault weapons so that if Simon tries to get up amongst them, they might be able to fight in combat a bit. And they've got some decent long range firepower with the LMG in each squad. Then for support weapons, we've got 1 medium machine gun. I don't care what people say online. I can't leave home without an MG42 in a German army. It's just morally wrong. And then, and then I've got a medium mortar. I've got a light howitzer today, and then I've got a lone officer. He hasn't got an attendant today. Von Stauhein is just rocking around on his own. I needed those 10 points elsewhere. Should say the mortar also does have a spotter. I've then got a regular Panzer IV, and it has got the side skirts. I had to pick between the side skirts and the attendant for the officer, and I thought, you know what, I'd rather be WYSIWYG on my tank and have my officer a little bit more vulnerable just because that feels right. You've got to be WYSIWYG wherever you can. And then I've got a regular truck, which one of the squads is going to go in. Haven't got the classic combo of veterans in a truck or Volksgrenadiers in a Panzer III, so I have got a much more versatile force that can do a little bit of everything. But that is 1,000 points of the Germans, and now let's take a look at the scenario and the battlefield. So here we have the field of battle that we're going to be playing on today, a ruined farmhouse in the French countryside. I'm going to go over the terrain and then we'll take a look at the scenario. So the terrain today, we're going to have all of this stuff in the middle as light cover, but as normal when we're playing in the Mordian Glory Battle Bunker, if you're shooting across 2 walls, that will stack up to heavy cover. I find that works really, really well because it means that if you're just shooting at each other from a long way away, you do have to have that sort of extra bit of cover, but also means when you start getting up close and personal, there still is a little bit of cover for everyone to play around with, so it does work quite nicely. We're then going to have each one of these groups of forests. See, there's 4 on the map. They're going to be dense, and then we're also going to have the trees on top of the hill as a dense bit of terrain as well. That means you can't see through it, and you can't run through it either. The base of the hill will not be dense. That's just going to be light cover as well. And me and Simon have agreed that the hedgerows, these are the, if you can imagine, these are the hedges that were leading up to the farmhouse gates. They will count as one piece of terrain and they will count as light cover. So if you're shooting over this, even though you'd be shooting over 2 bits of wall, it's only going to count as 1. So it's 1 bit of light cover. And that will be also the same there as well. Now, the scenario today is going to be demolition, and I have placed my base down here, and Simon has placed his base down there, and we'll just go to that page now, and you can take a look at the mission for yourselves. Here are the rules for demolition. Both sides pick a deployment zone and then put down one of their bases, so we're using these blue tokens to mark the bases. There's no preparatory bombardment. Half of your units rounding down can go in reserve. There's no first wave, so you just deploy onto the battlefield and then you start fighting. And victory is very simple. The game ends either at the end of turn 6, maybe turn 7, or the moment that someone blows up someone else's base. Now, how you blow up a base is very simple. You just have to be controlling it by the end of the turn. So if you run if you run like a squad onto here and then just hold it for the rest of the turn, it will detonate and you will win the game. So it's a pretty good scenario, and yeah, we'll see how it plays out today. So here we have the field of battle after deployment. We're going to go over the airborne deployment first. So we've got 3 distinct castles. We have got a pack howitzer and a section here, and that is the mortar spotter sticking out the front. Is that correct?
That's it.
We've then got a full section supported by Spiffy Moustache Man, the officer. And then moving over here, we've got a 3rd castle with a section, a sniper, an artillery observer, and a medium mortar. We've then got the German deployment, and as you can see, we've set up in a sort of similar fashion. We've got 2 sections and a medium mortar ready to push onto the enemy objective. We've got my tank and a section in the middle. They can go either way. They can either help defend my objective or push onto the enemy objective. Now, my tank is exposed, but Simon doesn't really have any anti-tank ready to go on the field, which means that hopefully turn 1, I can put my Panzer in ambush. And if he tries to come on and storm my objective, he's not going to have a good time. So I'm hoping that might work there. And then moving on, we've got my own little castle, which is going to have a section, a medium machine gun, my officer, and my light howitzer as well. My light howitzer does not have a spotter. Simon's does, which just gives him a slight advantage over me. In reserve, Simon has put his Cromwell and his Jeep, and in reserve, I have put my truck and 1 section. So that is the deployment, and we'll be back with the first dice. So Simon is going to be bagman today. Give it a good old rattle and then pull the first dice, Si.
And we have an airborne.
An airborne dice. Now, do you know what you're going to do, or do you want to have a little think?
I'm going to have an advanced move with my snap 2 and an advanced move with my section over there.
Nice. So you pull another dice out, and then we'll move them forward, and then we'll do their shooting on camera. So here we have the airborne advance order. You can see that the Moustache Man and his adjutant and the big squad of riflemen have moved forward. They've taken over one of the abandoned fields, and now they're going to fire over into this squad of Germans. Now, thanks to them having rapid fire, they actually all get, I think it's 13 shots in total, which is really nice. So they'll be hitting on 6s because they have moved. It's long range, and there's some light cover. I am staying up because I don't want to go down and then give Simon the opportunity to sort of pounce on me with more squads. So, Simon, get your dice together and then let's roll them.
I'm just checking I can count properly. There we go, 13.
There we go. Now, the officer's out of range because he only has an SMG.
You should get extra range for having such a fabulous tash.
He should do. It should be Tash Fear for me rather than Tiger Fear. Okay, so we've got a hit there.
Hey.
And then not a kill, but it is a pin. So they're showing willing, but they could do with a bit more accuracy there. They've skipped range day.
Quite a bit more accuracy.
Okay, Simon, what is the next dice? It is another airborne one. Do you know what you're going to do, or do you want a little think?
I am going to find my sniper at that squad.
Okay, he's finding a sniper in. He's going to be using his scope, which means he gets a 36-inch range, and he can ignore all to hit modifiers. Now, are you in range? I think you're just in. Yep, you're into the guy with the Luger. So that'll be a single shot hitting on a 3, and then it'll be wounding on a 4, and then you will get to pick which guy in that squad dies.
I have to hit first.
You do have to hit. This is the big problem with snipers.
My elite troops with a sniper rifle.
Nope, that is Simon's classic sniper. I keep telling you, man. I keep telling you, stop taking them snipers. There's a reason I never include them.
Well, when I played against this list with my Italians at the club, he wrecked me.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, but that wasn't you rolling the sniper dice. That wasn't me rolling the sniper dice. That was Joe.
I thought it's your bullshit starting already.
Yeah. Okay, pull that next dice. We've got the official Airborne dice bag as well. Very nice. And that is a German dice. Okie dokie. I think I am going to go for a shot with my light howitzer, and I'm going to put it down onto your section of blokes that is right here. So it will be more than likely within range. So it might just be a 3 to hit, unless you want to. Well, it might be long range, so it might be a 4 to hit because it's only got short range light howitzer. And then if you go down, that'll become a 6. But do you want us to check the range and see what the dice is?
Yeah, let's do that first.
Okay, so we'll cut there, and then we'll be back in just a second. So Simon has decided that the brave boys of the British Powers are going to stay up. We have measured it. I am just over a 24-inch range. As I am fine direct, that is over my half range with a light howitzer. So it's going to be a 4 to hit. Let's see if we can get it. It is a 4. Now, we have said that I'll be able to get about 3 of them because it's a 2-inch template. So I always tend to say you can get 1 guy and then 2, a guy either side of him. So that will be killing on 3s because it's pen plus 2. Okay, so I've got 3 kills. Now I get to roll the 6s again because I might get to pick a guy. I do get to pick a guy, so I'm going to kill your sergeant because it'll make your orders a little harder to pull off. And then I get to see the number of pins, and it is 3. So it was a damn good shot. That captured French light howitzer. Just flying in there. Apparently the French couldn't fight very well, but they make some good equipment. So we'll pin those guys up, we'll mark it up, and we'll be back in just a moment. Okay, Simon, are you ready with the next dice? It is another airborne one. Do you know what you're going to do, or is it thinking time?
It is... I'm going to have a shot with my howitzer at them.
Okay, so you're going to get some revenge.
Yes.
Nice. Okay, so are you doing an indirect?
Oh, actually, no,
you can think
indirect. What's the range of indirect?
60.
Oh yeah, no, I'll be.
Yeah, you'll easily be.
Yeah.
It's a minimum of 24, but we know we're over that, so that's fine. So you'll be hitting on a 6, and then you will be dialing in. Oh, that is very far away. But you are now dialing in, so we will get the dial-in dice, some smoke and all that kind of good stuff, and we're back in just a second. We've put a little dial-in dice there. That 5 means that next time, if I don't move, he'll be hitting me on a 5 with that indirect 5 shot. And as the shot did go very wide, we've just put a little bit of smoke there, a little bit of explosion. That doesn't mean anything, guys. We just like to put down bits of smoke to show the explosions going off and stuff like that.
Missing by a mile.
Exactly. So, pull the next dice, Simon.
It is I again.
He's getting a rush. It's another airborne dice. Do you know what you're going to do, or do you want to have a think? You can always pass with something in reserve if you don't actually want to go. Okay, so we'll just keep the camera rolling because it's just a cheeky pass. See what the next one is going to be. It is a German one. Now, I'm not going to be a passing scumbag. I am going to
be a spawny bastard.
A spawny git, yeah. I'm going to go for... interestingly, I'm going to go for an ambush. Okay, because I'm not going to get to use it this turn. But if you decide to come out, I'm going to leave it on. And then if you decide to jump over the fence, I can give you the beans that way. So that was my dice. Next one. That was an airborne one, and Simon is passing with his second unit in reserve. Big long cut. Let's keep going. And that's the third one. So now this is another airborne dice. So Simon has to go. Now, do you want to have a little think?
No, I know what I'm going to do.
Very decisive. When I was playing against Scholar, every dice was, I've got to think. But you're much more decisive. The airborne mentality, the power brain, smooth brain.
I'm glad one of them's got a smooth brain.
So what have you gone for? You're going for you're going an ambush. Ah, the old ambush off. Very clever, because obviously if I want to push forward my infantry, that's not going to go well for me. All right, let's keep it going. We're having a few dice here. Okay, it's one for me. I'm going to go for an ambush as well over here, because I think that will mean that for next turn, it gives me a lot of options. It's another one for me. Now, what I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm going to go for a run order. My officer is going to just come over here. And actually, he's just going to be a little bit more hidden. He doesn't need to be that far forward. And he's just going to put himself into some range to help these blokes out. Okay, next dice. It's another grey. Now, the right thing here would be to just keep ambushing you, but that is also Trey Scumbag Mover. So we're not going to do that. We're going to try and go for a fire order. Also, it's a little bit more exciting for battle reports and all that kind of stuff. So there we go. So let me grab a couple of dice. So I need to see if I pass my morale. I do. And then I need to get some shots together and we'll see what damage we can do. Okay, so now that we've passed the order, let's see how many shots we get. So we get 8 shots, we get 5 for the LMG and 3 for the rifleman. We've got 2 riflemen, a guy with the Panzerfaust who's going to use his rifle rather than his Panzerfaust at this range. Now, I'm going to be hitting on 5s because it's going to be long range and light cover. So it's pretty good. It's about half. Those 6s, as long as I don't get those 6s again, we'll be all right. Now, you are veteran, which means I only wound you on 5s. So it's just 1 kill, which is a bit more likely than what it was before, when it was like 5s and 6s. Do I get to pick? No. So that's just a basic rifleman knocked out from that squad and a single pin on them. That was much more reasonable. I thought when I saw those 5 and 6, I was like, oh God, no, Simon's never going to come around again. But it turned out it was all right in the end. All right, so we'll pull the next dice and we'll see what we get. Okay, Simon, pull the next dice. It is a German one. Okay, what do I want to do? I think I'm going to go for a bit more fire on you here, dude. So I'm going to go for another fire order. Now, I suspect that I'm going to be shooting across 2 walls now, which means heavy cover. So anything that is in range, you will be getting... it'll be 6s to hit.
Yeah.
So that's a good sort of example of the difference between, that sort of home rule. Sort of over here, it was 5s and over there it's 6s. So we'll just see what's in range and we'll be back in a second. Okay, so it's just the LMG that is in range. So it's going to be 5 shots hitting on 6s. We've got the 1 hit. That is another pin. That is a little unlucky. I wasn't statistically supposed to get that, but we'll see what happens. And it's not a kill. So that's all right. That's just a pin. Not too bad. With being veteran and officer, your guys should be able to wear that. So we'll put the pin marker on those guys. They'll be up to 2. And we're back with the next dice. So the next dice was a grey one. And I did a run order. Just move this first section up. Simon chose not to ambush because he would have only got 2 or 3 shots because his guys here would have been shooting near his observer. But then he pulled the next dice and he decided to fire with his mortar against a section that's just run out. So he needs a 6. No, not quite. So they will be hitting on a 5 next turn, but we'll get a dial-in dice and a bit of smoke. So end of the turn 1 wrap-up. Essentially, my guys ran out here. Simon ambushed them and was able to kill one. We need to put a pin marker down there. And then my mortar fired in against his veterans and got a 1, didn't get anywhere near. And that was basically it. The last thing to mention is that Simon did call in his artillery observer, his free artillery observer, and we've used that upside down button there to represent where that is going to land. So that is the end of turn 1, and we'll be back with the beginning of turn 2. Okay, and the first thing to do at the very beginning of turn 2 is see if that artillery guy does his business. No, but it doesn't move, it's just delayed. So that's all right, that's not too bad. So the first dice of turn 2, what's it going to be, Simon? It is a grey. Okay, so what do I want to do? It might be a good opportunity to call my mortar in and try and hit you on a 5 before you move those blokes. So I'm going to go for a fire order on my mortar. Could you pass me a white dice, please, Simon? We're going to do it live. And I will be hitting your guys on a 5. Now, you can choose to go down, which would mean it would halve the number of hits rounding down, which means it'd probably go from 3 to 1.
Staying up.
Staying up. All right. Hey, I saw the 5 there for a second. Oh, no. So that will be down again on a 4 next turn, but that is the first German dice done. Okay, Simon, pull that next dice. What's it going to be? Ooh, that's really tricky. Because that gives me an opportunity to... that gives me an opportunity to be a bit cheeky here. I want to move the howitzer, but what is it? Your howitzer, which is dialing in on my howitzer, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, no guts, no glory. I think we're going to stay up. We're just going to take it, and I'm going to fire my howitzer, and I'm just going to try and get another shot off on your vet. Actually, should I put it? No, I need to fire it. I was thinking of ambushing it, but then you might just drop a mortar on its head and it dies. Are you going down? Oh, he's going down. Okay, we're delaying the advance of the Brits. That means I go from hitting on a 4 to a 6. Oh, not quite. All right, let's get up the next dice. And the next dice is a red airborne dice. Do you know what you're doing, Simon?
I'm dialed in. We're going to try and hit them on a 5.
He's going to try and hit them on a 5. Here we go. What do you get? No. It's a 2. The indirect fire not doing much for anyone this turn. All right, let's see what the next dice. We'll just keep it rolling because that was a quick one. It's another red dice. It's another airborne one. Simon, you could go for your last bit of indirect. Get all the indirect off the table straight away.
I could do.
It's up to you. It's entirely up to you, man. Don't let me influence you.
I could do, but I'm not going to.
Okay, fair enough. Do you know what you're going to do instead?
I do.
Okay.
I am going to shoot these guys into them.
Just a straight up shoot. You're not advancing.
Have you left the advance on? Or?
I've left my ambush on my machine gun here, yes.
Yeah, in that case.
Do you want to have a little think?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so Simon is going to stay still. We were debating about the advance, but we realised that if he advances, it will be 6s followed by 6s. If he stays still, it'll just be 6s. So he's got to pass the leadership test on a 10, because he's got a first lieutenant. Easy peasy. You should have seen Scholar last battle report. He was failing leadership 10 order tests left, right and centre. So, yeah, we'll get those dice together. Have you got them already?
Yeah.
So it should be 12 dice this time, because you've lost a bloke. Very good.
6s.
6s indeed. He's got that hit again. Very good. Now, are you going to get the kill? Last time you got a hit and didn't get the kill. This time we get the kill. He gets the kill.
I got a kill.
Very nice. That is another regular German grenadier that bites the dust. Oh, it's the next dice. Is it another airborne one, is it?
It is.
It's another airborne dice. Okay, you can see it just there. All right. Do you know what you're doing?
I'm going to have an advance on these.
Oh, Simon, a much more decisive player than we've had in the Battle Bunker before. I'm loving it. All right, let's see. Is this your rifle team?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll tell you what, I'll let you move them and we'll see where they end up. Okay, so this is where the rifle section ends up there. Oh, one guy just slipping down. It's all right, we know where he is, Simon. And they are going to be shooting into the set. Is it this squad here or is it this squad over here?
That squad there.
This squad here, the 6-man squad. Now, this is a full section of British rifles with rapid fire, 13 shots. Give them the beans. Now that is 2 hits because it's going to be a move, a long range, and light cover. Not bad. Killing on 4s. Oh, that is unfortunate. That is a pin on them though. So yeah, that is unfortunate. But don't forget, you do lose your dial in as well. So that means my mortar is going to be reset. So it's not all lost, and at least you did get a pin. All right, the next dice. What is it going to be? It is a German one. Oh, righty, ho ho. I think I'm going to go for a cheeky advance order of my own. And I'm going to advance this squad up. And then I'm going to try and give your veterans that have just been a damn good thrashing. You can try and thrash me, Mr. Roast Beef. But I shall show you the power of German sauerkraut. All right, let's move these guys forward and see where they end up. All right, that is where the German squad has ended up, just where the last mortar missed. So that's not a good sign. You know, maybe you'll get that 6 next time, Simon.
Yeah, you're relying on my mortars to hit the same place twice.
That is true. That is true. So in terms of shooting, the STG is in range, and that will be long range light cover, but it doesn't suffer the penalty for moving. The LMG is in half range, but moved and light cover, so they'll both be hitting on 5s. And then I've got 3 shots from the rifles that are hitting on 6s. So we've got the 3 shots from the rifles first. We've got a hit, so we'll put that to one side. And then these are the shots from the STG and from the LMG as well. And that's 3 more hits. German firepower, well made, precision engineering, you know. None of this Sten guns made out of bits of iron railing. And it is a single kill, so not too bad. That's probably about right. But do I get to pick who it is? Can I make Simon even more annoyed? No. Okay, there we go. I saw 6 then for a second, but it was not to be. So a single guy dead and a single pin, not too bad. Probably what you'd expect from a German squad that's starting to get within half range of some of its guns. But yeah, we'll be back with the next dice. Okay, Simon, pull that next dice, you funky bag man. It is an airborne dice. And Simon did just say he had an epic move coming up.
I'm going to try and bring my Cromwell on.
Okay, he's trying to bring the Cromwell on. Leadership 8 if it's a regular. Yep, because leadership 9 -1 for the reserve. Oh, he's coming in. Now, where are you coming in? Because obviously I have a tank on ambush over here.
Yes.
I'm imagining you're going to come where the ambush is not.
Yes.
This is... Oh, baby. Oh, baby. He's coming on the flank. I've just been with the squad. I can't even go down. So it'll be a 9-inch move from the edge of the board. That's going to pop you about there. And he's going to give me the beans. So that will be probably just move like cover.
Yes.
Now, you're going to use 2 MMGs or you're going to use the big gun?
I'm going to use a big gun and 1 MMG.
Okay, so the big gun hitting on a 5 here because it's just moved and light cover.
This is where my epic move becomes slightly less epic. And becomes almost like my Italian tank last time. But
oh, no, not the pizza wagon. This is a proper bit of British armour. Here we go. Hey! Now, that is a big... that's a 3-inch blast. So I'd say that gets about 4 blokes for you there.
Yeah.
Because just for our viewers at home... no, it's a 2-inch or a 3-inch. Oh, I don't know. We'll double check. We'll just double check while Simon checks that. Basically,
I think it's about 12 inches to be honest.
No, it's a 12-inch blast. Just the doomsday weapon.
Because I never actually hit with it, you should just let me double it up or something.
So, just for our viewers at home, how it works is normally a medium anti-tank gun only has a 1-inch blast, but because it is an allied one, they get to load in HE shells. So we'll be back in just a moment once we figured out what the range is. Okay, so he'll be able to get 4 guys with the template. It's a nice big bertha of a shot. Let's see how the HE comes in. And he's killing on 2s. And that is all. That is 4 guys gone. It's going to do...
do I get to do the 6s for kills?
Yes, you get to pick with 6s. Very much so. Not today. And so it's going to do D3 pins. What? And it's just a single pin on that unit. So yeah, it is a... it's a 2-inch template, but I had a few of my guys bunched up here, and it is a D3 pin. So essentially, it counts as being sort of 1 profile higher.
And I've still got my machine
for its HE, and he's still got the machine gun as well. Okay, so we've lost 4 guys. Oh wow, that's 3 more hits from the machine gun, killing on 4s. That's another guy killed. So there's only going to be 2 left. So I'm going to remove my casualties, and we'll see where we end up. So, after that epic display from the Cromwell, a rather splendid Cromwell hitting the field. It is a good tank. We've only got 2 guys left, and there's a single pin on us. So, do we stick around because we've lost more than half in one go? We do stick around. They're not super certain about it, but they will be sticking around. So, we have left, because of coherency, we're left with the STG Sergeant and a Panzerfaustmann. So, end of turn 2. Pretty rapid-paced game so far. Simon went with his sniper, and it missed again. Got another 2. Quelle surprise, yeah. Very appropriate. We are fighting in France today. And then the air observer's like, these damn snipers. I'll show you how it's done. Sorry, artillery observer. Yeah. And he moved forward. He does actually have an SMG. That's what he's modelled with. And he is in range, and he managed to get a pin, but not a kill. But at least he showed more skill at long-range shooting than the sniper did.
Yeah. Not difficult.
Not difficult.
The cat probably does as well.
Yeah. In return, I went for a fire order with these blokes. I decided to stay still because I knew I'd have another pin on me. And I managed to get I didn't get any hits. I showed not even willing, just spraying and praying. And then we had a bit of firepower bracketing in against the veterans that are here. So we had a squad that's in here, and we had this squad here, and between them they got a pin and 2 kills, which wasn't too bad at all. So this veteran squad is down to 7 men, and so is the one that I hit with the howitzer in the first turn. So we're whittling them down, both sides doing a great job at defending. Now, the last thing that I have to do is, now I know that Simon's tank isn't coming over here, I'm going to try and change this to a fire order. Now, this is only going to go off on a 4+. If I get a 1 to 3, the tank loses concentration and they don't do the ambush, they don't do the fire. On a 4, 5, or 6, it will get to shoot. So they will get to shoot. Now, I'm going to go, it's going to be heavy cover, because I'm shooting across 2 walls. but I am going to go for...
They didn't move.
They didn't... No, so, no, this is at the end of the turn.
Ah, of course, yeah, my bad.
So at the end of the turn, if I don't want to put the ambush in the bag, I can just...
Yeah, that's me being a prat.
That's all right. So it's going to be just heavy cover with my heavy anti-tank gun, which means it'll be hitting on a 5. So can I do what Simon did to me? Can I get a 5 to hit? No! Oh, that's a shame. And then I've got an MMG, which will be hitting on 6s.
You need to roll for it.
No, it's just for the unit, the ambush.
Oh, from that... So I thought you were talking about that MMG.
No, this MMG...
That's me being
a prat again! 2 for 2!
Double prat.
Yeah, this MMG is going to stay on ambush again. This is the MMG from the Panzer IV. I'll just get 2 hits. Bit of moss in there as well. And then it will be, because it'll be long range and heavy cover. And then it'll be 5s to kill. Nothing. But just another pin on you. So they're nicely pinned now. I'm finally getting them to be slightly scared, even though there is a first lieutenant with them.
Would you like to do the artillery barrage before we...
I tell you what, we'll cut it there so we don't have a too longer segment, and then we'll be back with the artillery barrage. So at the end of turn 2, I again decided to stay in ambush with the MMG team, but now Simon needs to see if his artillery marker comes in on a 4+. It does! It does! It just plops in straight where it is. So what is the distance? I think you're going to get everyone there, because it's D6 plus 3, I believe, is the distance for it. So that's going to be an 8-inch blast. I can tell you there, dude, you're going to catch all of those guys. So which squad do you want to do first? You want to do the infantry squad first?
Let's do the infantry squad.
Okay, what happens to the infantry squad? I think it's a 1 to 5 is like D3 pins or something like that. Yeah, we'll roll a dice and we'll figure out what the end pins are.
Check it first.
So we'll check it first and we'll see what the final result is. Okay, so we've checked. I don't know how many times I have to use artillery observers. It's a staple action. You never remember what they do. So
you normally never come in and hit anything.
That's true. So on a 1 to 5, you do D3 pins. You always do something, and then on 6, you do a big 4-inch blast template to a unit. So roll it for the infantry squad first. 3, so that'll be D3 pins, and that'll be 2 pins. Yeah, let's get the dice cup ready here. Perfect. So 2 pins on that unit there. Then we've got the... Do you want to go for the machine gun team next? Yep. That's another 2 pins, please. D3 pins, I should say. Oh, that's just a 1. Okay. Okay, and then we've got the officer. That's D3 pins, and that's 2 pins. Give me. We'll just do this as we're going along. Very nice. 2 pins for him, and then you've got the spotter for the mortar. Hey! So that's actually really big because you're gonna have to place it on this guy, but you will be able to hit both of these teams as well because it's a 4-inch blast. So you are probably going to hit. I'd say you're going to probably hit all 3 on the machine gun team, and then probably 2 on the light howitzer. So
2s to kill.
It's 2s to kill. Yep. So spotter first. No. Hey, he actually lives. That's incredible.
D6 pins.
Yes, it'll be D6 pins.
What?
1 pin. Okay. So he's just very well dug in. So I'll tell you what. I'll flip that marker over there. Then you've got the MMG team. So 3 dice. The MMG team is going to be gone. There we go. And we'll take the pins off there. There we go. And then you've got the light howitzer. And you kill one of the guys there. And now it won't take any pins because it wasn't the target of the blast. People die, but it doesn't take the pins.
And do I still get to roll for the D6 for them?
Was it a 6 to kill, was it? Oh, D6 pins?
No, do I get to...
Oh, yes, you still get to roll a D6 for them, yeah.
So pins for... So no pins.
No pins, but what do you do to them now? So they take D3 pins and take 2. So they're going to lose a crew member and end up with 2 pins on them. So if you want to pass me 2 pins over... There we go. Perfect. And so that is what it's going to look like once we have finished with the bombardment guy. So ironically, the guy that got hit didn't die. And the machine gun team, which I put on ambush all game, there's a dice for you, Simon. You can claim that because you killed it. And ironically, the machine gun team, which I've been really tactical with, just got blown up. Bloody hell. Not too bad. So that's actually probably the best I've ever seen that observer do. That's really cool. So that wasn't a dice, that was just a pre-turn thing. We'll be back with the first dice of turn 3. Okay, so let's pull the first dice. It's going to be a German one. I'm going to try and keep you pinned down here. I'm going to go with It's definitely going to get hit by a mortar next turn, isn't it?
I don't know, mine
This turn. Yeah. I'm going to go with this thing first. I'm going to go for a... run because I want to just move it. So it's near my officer. So it'll get a +1 to its leadership. So it'll be leadership 8 for this because it's got 2 pins. Yes, so it's going to pass, it's going to lose a pin, and then I'm going to move it. So we'll be back in a second. Okay, and the next dice is an airborne one. So what do you want to go with, Simon?
I am going to hose down your Panzerfaust, what's remaining of that team in my tank.
Okay, so I'm going to go down. Because that will be light cover and small team and -2. So that'll be 6s followed by 6s. So what are you going to shoot me with?
2 machine guns.
2 machine guns, okay. 2 machine guns hitting on 6s followed by 6s. 1 possible, but it is impossible. All right, so the tank has been, but you take a dice out for me so I can put a down order next to my 2 blokes there. Thank you very much.
I didn't fancy the Panzerfaust.
No, I don't blame you. Okay, and the next dice is the Germans. All right. What do I want to do? My push is struggling a bit, but you have been with your tank now. I think I want to keep doing what I can do to make these blokes have a bad time. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to go for a fire order. I'm going to put it on this squad of Germans here. So that will be 5 shots of the LMG.
And you'll be hitting on
6s still, unless you want to go down.
Right.
You're on 3 pins. But this squad hasn't hit anything yet, but they might do really well now. They might be getting their eye in.
Your tank's going to be hitting them on 5s, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm going to go down.
Okay, so it's a dice out the bag. Simon's going to go down with that squad there, meaning I'll be hitting him on 6s followed by 6s. So that's 2 maybes. Good job you went down. That would have been 2 hits otherwise. No hit. So that was the machine gun team in the squad. Okay, so the tank has still got a chance to go. All right, so that was a good example of why it's good to go down sometimes. So we're back with the next dice. Okay, and the next dice is going to be an airborne one. Okay.
I am going to fire this squad into them.
Okay, so it'll be long range, light cover, and that's it. Do I want... And you'll get 13 shots still?
No, I've lost 1, so I'll get 12.
12. I think I'm going to go down. I want to preserve myself for a turn or 2. Yeah, so if you could take a dice out the bag for me, Simon, and I'm going to go down with this squad here. Thank you very much. It's a little bit crazy, but I want to try and have a turn where I can get some pins off and then maybe do something turn 5, turn 6.
It's going to be 6s?
6 followed by 6s now, because it'll be long range, light cover, and down.
Ah, of course. Forgot about the light cover.
It'll be 12 shots because you've lost a bloke.
Yep. 5. I can't count today.
Come on, smooth brain.
There we go.
There we go. 1 maybe?
Nope.
No. I actually would have only taken 2 hits then, but that's I still think it's the right call because I'm trying to avoid pins at this point.
So
all right.
Hang on a second.
Oh, did you have a pin on you? Yeah, they did pass it. Okay, there we go.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie, let's see what the next go. And the next dice is the Germans. Alrighty ho ho. I've made you go down, which is interesting there. I'm going to try and kill your Jeep with an LMG. I think it seems like a sensible thing to do. So I'm going to go for a fire order. I'm going to try and pass an order test. It will be on an 8. I have passed it, so I will lose a pin. But it's just going to, I think that's just going to be long range and a pin. So that'll be 5s to hit.
Yeah.
Okay, so it'll just be my LMG that's in range. So I'll get the dice and we'll be back in a second. Okay, so the LMG guy there is going to fire his machine gun into the recce Jeep here. And it's going to need 5s followed by 6s. And if it's soft skinned, it just dies if I get one of those 6s. Well, I didn't get any 5s. So, yeah, that was anticlimactic.
You've been hanging out with me for too long, my friend.
Yeah, one of these machine guns always messes it up, and the other one always does something. All right, let's see what the next dice is. It's another German one. All right. I'll have a little think, actually. I'm not sure what I want to do with him. Okay, so decided to do something a bit fruity. We've moved forward with the Panzer IV. Now, I know it's a bit risky, but at the end of the day, Simon's going to have to move, shoot over half cover and over half range with his Cromwell, which means that next turn it's definitely going to be a 6 followed by a 6 no matter what happens. And I decided I wanted to start being a bit more aggressive, just start using it. So it's going to be a 6 to hit with the heavy anti-tank gun against the Jeep, and then it'll be 6s followed by 6s with the medium machine gun. So, can we get a 6 to hit? A heavy anti-tank gun versus a Jeep. Oh! You know, if I had stayed still, I would have got a hit then.
Wow,
damn it. And then 6 followed by 6s on the MMG. I've got one possible. I don't mean to alarm you. I just need to get a 6.
I'm not bothered in playing with your cat now.
Oh, okay, that's fair enough. I got a 5.
Ah.
No.
There you go.
So not even a pin or anything there, guys. But hopefully that will start doing some Tiger Fear and stuff over here for these blokes there. Now, that is the last dice we're going to do on camera. There is some howitzers and stuff that might end up doing some stuff, but they all need like 6s to hit. So we'll do the rest of the turn off camera and see where we end up. Okay, so end of turn 3. We're now at the halfway point of the game. Simon brought his Jeep forward there. He's been a bit balls to the wall with it, and he managed to get a pin on my infantry squad here. I think he's going to go for some kind of dash with the Jeep in maybe turn 4, turn 5. We'll see how that goes. I brought my reserves on here. I brought the truck on, but just kept the guys inside down. And I did that in response to Simon pushing forward with these infantry. I figured that I wanted to have a good way of, sort of stemming the tide there. Moving over to the other side of the battlefield, the observer moved forward, just being a little bit more aggressive. But you'll notice I am lacking a squad here. The sniper did something. Hooray!
There was much rejoicing.
There was much rejoicing. The first time in the history of bot action, a sniper has managed to do something.
Anything, really.
Anything. But something actually quite big. So what he did is he got a hit, he got a kill. That put me on 3 pins. That was only 2 men left in the squad, which meant they lost 50% of their number in one go. They then had to take a leadership check, and I failed it because of that 3rd pin that he put on me. So he actually, not only did he kill a guy, not only did he pin a guy, but actually wiped the squad out. And this is much approved by Commissar Cat Kylo. You know, she's not a big fan of the Germans.
No.
So that is the end of turn 3. The bombardment has been done. The Brits have got a really strong push over here, although one of their squads is looking a little bit battered. The Germans have brought in reinforcements to try and stem the tide, and we do have our tank over here. So I would say that the British are in a stronger position than the Germans, because my push is essentially... it's not looking good now. I think even if I start running over with the squad in the trees here, I'm unlikely to get to Simon's objective. But Simon actually, even with the cat sitting all over his models...
that's hard cover now.
That is hard cover.
Line of sight.
That's definitely line of sight blocking hard cover. But even with a few pins on his unit, Simon actually has lots of veterans with support in a position over the next 3, maybe 4 turns to get on my objective and demolition it. So you are in a more... It's your game to lose now, I think.
I do with your tank breaking down would be quite handy.
I will say this is a Panzer IV. I didn't bring a Panther or a Tiger, so this one should be all right. But yeah, so we'll see what happens going into turn 4. All right, we are on turn 4. Simon, pull that first dice.
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned because turn 4 is when you and your brother's bullshit really gets I'm still bitter about losing to his...
Simon had a game where he was ahead the whole time with his Italians. And
with my Italians, no less.
Yeah, and now he fears the turn 4 midpoint more than any other player I know.
The absolute bullshit.
Yeah. Okay, it is an airborne dice to kick you off with. So, do you know what you're going to do, or do you need to think?
I know what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Because I do not want your mortar diving in any further.
Okay. So you're going to attempt to order them, I imagine?
I am going to snap 2, that and that.
The Jeep and the squad and then the officer. Okay, so take 2 more dice out of the bag, because you got a first attempt you can snap 2 yourself and 2 other units. Now, could you please measure the distance from this squad to my tank, please? Because I have a late war Panzer IV, which means I would get the benefit of Tiger Fear.
Oh, here we go.
So if they are within 18...
which it should be.
Yes, you are. So that means unless you do a fire order against tank, which you can't physically hurt, you'll suffer an additional -1.
So I'll be pins, 3 pins, plus 2, 8.
Yes, it'll be an 8. So Tiger Fear actually doing something. Holy moly. Go for another. And what is this bad boy going to do? So he's going to go for... Are you going for advances across the board or some runs?
Advances across the board.
Okay, okay. So what do you want to do first?
Let's see if I get my order off.
Okay, let's get the dice tray together.
That feels quite key.
Okay, so this is a leadership 8 on the veteran guys with 3 pins. But a lieutenant, but Tiger Fear.
Don't be my Italian tank.
Hey! So they will lose a pin, and they will now be able to advance. So we'll move them, and we'll see where they end up. And the big thing is they will lose the dial-in dice. I tried very hard to make it so they wouldn't do as they were told, but being a good old British tip of a lip, they've done as they've been told. So we did a little bit of thinking, and Simon realised that due to the pins, he would be on 6s followed by 6s if he advanced. So we said he could do a run instead, so that's great. So they've really pushed forward now. He advanced with his sergeant, but was just out of range. So sadly not going to get some sten shots there. And then he advanced up to here with his jeep. We ummed and ahed about if he wanted to get up close and personal, but he did realise that there were some blokes in there who would probably jump out, point blank range, and just absolutely smash him. So he's tucked himself into a nice bit of light cover there, which is very clever. Good thing about small vehicles is you can really get light cover very easily. Okay, so that thing is now going to shoot, and I imagine you're going into here.
Yeah, 5.
So it's going to be 5s because we moved and light cover. So you've got 2 hits, so you've definitely got another pin on me, which is not ideal, but no kills. But that pin is pretty big. So if you pass me that little pin mark you've got spare there, and we're going to put that on these guys. So yeah, these are on 3 pins. That is not ideal, to say the least. So the next dice is going to be the Germans, and I need to have a little think about what I want to do with my blokes, because it's getting a bit hairy now with these powers really pushing it. Like I said, Simon's in a great position to push forward. Now, he's been with most of his units over there. The only one he's not been with is this unit of guys here. So I might just have a little think about that. Obviously, I might want to just go down over here to avoid losing more units and more dice. Yeah, that does seem like a pretty good idea. So what I'm going to do, as a lot of this stuff has been, is I'm going to go for a fire order. Sorry, I should say more of an advance order on my little crew weapon there, which means I'm going to turn it. I'm going to turn it like that. And then I'm going to shoot it over into this squad here. I'm just going to shoot it, past my man and then just to there. So that will be a move. Firstly, do I pass my order test? I do. So it will be a move, and that will be it. So it'll be a 4. Do I get the 4? No. Oh, that's big. That's very big. I needed that to go off. All right, let's see what the next dice is. Okay, Simon going for his howitzer now. He's going to fire it into the infantry squad here. He needs a 5 to hit. Oh, not quite. All right, that is going to go to a 4. Let's see what the next dice is. We'll just keep it going. So the airborne one.
Let's continue the thing of being really bad with indirect.
All right, so he's going to try and get a 5 over here now.
This is my 5th attempt at a 5.
Yeah. Nope, still nothing. So that's going to be a 4 there. All right, let's see what the next dice is going to be. It is a German one. Okay. I think, therefore I am, but I think I need to really hammer these guys now. So I think, they've already been though. There's no rush. Yes, no rush. Over here, there's quite an important thing going on. I'm tempted to charge you. Get a dice off you. It's pretty... No, you've got a big tank there. I'm going to go with...
I think you should charge.
No, I'm going to... No.
Do it.
Although if I go, I could get myself... I'm going to have a little think. So I went for an advance order. I decided that I wanted to not get dialed in and still be a credible threat for... for these guys over here. Otherwise, I'll just start march at the side of the board, which is going to put even more pressure on me. So I went for a move, an advance. That means that I lost the dial in, but then I did absolutely nothing to that little guy there. So that was that. All right, so the next dice, what's it going to be? Oh, it's an airborne one. Okay, so do you know what you're going to do?
I'm going to have a pop at your Panzer, I think.
Okay, now it will be 6s followed by 6s. because you'll be moved. It'll more than likely be over half range,
Yeah.
and there'll be heavy cover in between us.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. No, I'm going to... no, that's a very good point. I am going to... I've got much left to do, actually.
No, you've had a bit of a rush.
We're going to see... I'm going to try and continue my sniper expertise.
Okay, he's continuing his sniping school. He has plinked many cans off garden walls. He's now killed a man.
The first sniper in history bolt action to do such a
thing. Will he get another hit?
into these.
Yeah. Oh, he's got a hit. Holy moly, now on a 4+, can he get a kill? Oh my god, it's the most vicious sniper. Now there's an LMG in there, a Panzerfaust, an STG Sergeant, who you probably don't want to bother with because someone else will just pick it up, and an SMG. So either the Panzerfaust or the LMG would probably be my...
Yeah, I'd go with the LMG.
The LMG has gone. We now have an extra rifleman essentially in there. Because there's no loader.
Yeah.
Well, there's a loader, but he doesn't need to load anything.
Pin for them.
And a pin. Yes, very good. There we go. All right, let's keep it going. That was very quick. Okay, this is the Germans. I think I know what I'm going to do.
Does it involve a tank?
It involves a tank.
Doesn't have to.
It's going to, though.
Doesn't need to.
It's going to, though.
It could go down.
It's not going to. It's not got any pins on it. I'm going to advance with the tank.
Yeah.
I'm going to drive forward. I'm going to bust open both of those walls.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to... I think I need to slow you down. But I also want to kill that Jeep. But I reckon that Jeep's over 12 inches away. I'm going to have a think about what I'm going to shoot, but I am going with the tank next. So the Panzer IV, the mainstay of the German army, crashes through those three walls. Because it is a medium tank, it can go through walls and it destroys them. Yes, bolt action has destructible terrain. And then it's going to fire its heavy anti-tank gun and a medium machine gun point blank into this squad here. Now it has moved, but it is point blank. So it's going to be threes. So let's see what I get. Simon, you're furious checking the rulebook. Do you want me to wait before?
No. I'm planning my move. I've written off this squad.
Okay. Let's see if the heavy anti-tank gun can get a hit. It has got a hit. I was feeling a bit worried then. Now that's going to be a 2-inch blast, which means it's going to get 3 guys. Yeah, I think that's probably about right. So we shall see killing on 3s. So that's going to be 2 kills. And I get to see if I pick one. No. So you've lost 2 men so far, Simon. And then I've got a MMG as well. So I just need to get the dice for that. And we've got the medium machine gun coming in here. Hitler's buzzsaw. So again, that'll be hitting on 3s. And then it's going to be killing on 5s. Ooh, no more. So we've killed 2 from that squad. And we're going to do D3 pins through it with the big gun. For 3 pins. That is going to be 5 pins on that squad. And Tiger Fear. It is not having a good day. So the Panzer IV making itself felt. Let's see what the next dice is going to be. So the next dice is going to be another German one. I am going to go... Ooh, it's so risky. But I'm going to go for an advanced order on this squad. Now, it's going to be very tricky because I've only got a second lieutenant. So it would be normally on a 6, but it's going to be on a 7. So I've got a 50-50 chance or these guys are going to go down. And they do fail their test. Even if I'd done a rally, they would have... Oh, no, if I'd done a rally, they would have passed thanks to the officer. But they are going to go down. So they're not doing anything this turn. And that's probably the worst result I could have got. Because now you'll be able to start dialing in even more. Yeah. We've got another German dice here. I'm going to go for an advance order on my officer here. And he's going to move up to here. And then he's going to put... I think he's going to put some shots into your Jeep. But we'll see where he ends up. So von Stauheim has moved up. It's going to be long range and light cover with that SMG. So 2 shots into the Jeep. He's got a hit. Can he snipe the driver out? He just needs a 6 to kill the soft skin vehicle. At the very least, we put a pin on it. Come on. Ah!
Maybe the tin bullshit is coming in on turn 5.
Yeah, maybe it's coming in on turn 5. All right, so that was his order. Do you know what the next dice is going to be, Simon? It's going to be an airborne one. Do you need a chance to think, or do you know what you're doing?
I know what I'm doing.
He knows what he's doing. He is a man of purpose and of action. So he's advancing up.
Oh, actually, no, I'm not. Let's change that mind.
He's changed his mind? He's not doing that.
No, because I need you to get out of the Jeep first.
I also need you to move up first.
So I'm just going to put fire on these.
Fire over here. Okay, so yeah, let's tell you what, get your dice together and we'll see what the end result is. So the end result was but a single pin and a kill. They did manage to plink off the loader for the machine gun. The next dice is going to be a German one, guys, but we're going to do the rest of the turn off camera unless something particularly important comes up, and we'll be back with a summary of turn 4. So turn 4 wrap up, the Cromwell moved out, it fired its machine gun into here and managed to get a pin but no kills, and then it was able to prang a shot over the Panzer IV, but it was a 6 followed by 6, and sadly it did not get a hit. Another man over here was actually pinned and killed thanks to the advancing SMG, but he's been really good actually. He called in his bombardment and then he's just been hosing people down.
MVP, to be fair.
MVP, Artillery Observer. And then over here, a bit of a turn for the Bucks. I went down with my truck, with me and Simon having a bit of a down off to see who could end up going first. I ended up having to move my squad out. I was like, you know what? I'm going to move out. I'm going to split fire because you can't normally do it with infantry, but you can do it with Panzerfaust. So I'm going to put the Panzerfaust into the Jeep and then everything else into the squad here. Now, it turned out that I had a really good angle on Simon, so it meant that it would have been loads of shots hitting on like 4s, and I think it was like 10 shots hitting on 4s roughly. So he decided to go down, and because he went down, the end result was just a single pin. So I have delayed his advance, but he's got turn 5 and turn 6 and maybe turn 7, so... and maybe just slowing the inevitable. But the Panzerfaust went in and just got an auto pen on the enemy vehicle and just absolutely mashed it. Just let us know if we got that wrong, because we were sort of, we're still learning about action, Simon and I. And we know that if you roll a 1 when killing an infantry guy, it always fails. But we don't think there's anything like that for vehicles. It just says, if you beat the armor, you roll on the vehicle damage table. And as that soft skinned, if you beat its armor, it just dies. So just let us know if we've got that wrong. If a 1 it might always be a fail on a pen, but we think we've got it right there. But put it in the comment section if you know better than us. All right, so that was turn 4, and we'll be back with turn 5. Okay, so first dice of turn 5 is an airborne dice, the paratroopers. Pip pip tally ho for king and country. Do you know what you're doing, Simon?
Yes.
Okay, what are you going to do?
I need to clear these guys.
I mean, it's very much is. Just at this point, me and Simon were just discussing it. It's going to be a draw, but Simon actually has a decent chance of getting a win because he's got way more stuff and it's all veteran pushing on my guys over here, which are badly pinned and only regular. So it could easily be that he's able to pull this off.
And it's just to get my order off.
It's to get the order off first. They do manage it. Again, that is the beauty of being veteran there. So he's going to move up and then so it'll be moved and it'll be light cover for me. I'm going to wear it. I'm going to stay up.
Light cover for those?
We're both getting light cover. Okay. We'll both get light cover. There's nothing about if you're in light cover, it negates it for each other.
9 shots.
Yeah, 9 shots coming in.
So 4s?
5s because you moved. Moved to light cover.
Yeah, good job you're on the ball.
See, again, if I like American Airborne because when you get up close to person, it's like 4s then because of you don't suffer the penalty for moving and shooting. That's 2 hits. So that's definitely a pin on them. Now, forced to kill. That's 2 kills, and you get to pick with that 6. Oh, I'm guessing an LMG. Yeah, I'm guessing an LMG.
Goodbye, Mr. LMG.
Oh dear, 2 kills. I'll take the load off as well, just to make things simple. Yeah. Wow, that is big. That is very big. That LMG was a vital part of my defense plan. I think Simon's in with a chance for the win here.
That's made a difference.
We're gonna have to see if the Panzer IV can save my ass. I think that's what it's gonna be. All right, we'll be back with the next dice. Okay, pull the next dice, you funky bagman. It is a German one. Oh, so difficult to know what to do because I obviously don't want your tank to kill me before I go. That's the thing. So I think I'm gonna have.
Very unlucky for me to kill you from there with the tank.
True.
Although I am going into your side.
You are going into my side.
I also need to hit you.
You do need to hit me. Now, I could just point blank this squad here, but then you'll go down with them, won't you? And they're pretty pinned up. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go with my tank.
Yes.
And I think I'm going to
go down.
I'm going to give it a fire order.
It's going to go down. Go down.
And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to point blank MMG them.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put the big gun into here, which will be... I'll give you light cover because I think by the time I've turned the turret, most of you guys are going to be scored by that or in there. So it'll be a 4 to hit.
Yeah.
So do you want to go down with them?
So you're going to be hitting on 2s at the moment.
It'll be 2s up to 4s.
Yeah, go on, I'm going to go down.
Okay, he's going to go down with them, which puts me on 4s with the MMG. So it's 4s all round now. So the MMG, German MMG, getting those 6 shots, hitting on 4s. Just the 1 hit, that's all right. It's just putting another pin on them. Now, can I be so lucky as to get a delicious kill? No. Okay. Then we've got the big gun going into the other squad. I know, right? Big gun, hitting on 4s. It's a hit. Now that will be, as we always say, it's a 2-inch blast, so it'll get 1 guy and then 1 either side of him, so that'll be 3s. It's a 2-inch blast, so it's killing on 3s. I'll reroll that one. So it'll be 2 kills, and it will be, you get to pick them though, and it'll be D3 pins. Just the 1 pin, all right. They're like Kraut anti-tank. That's we call that a Tuesday in the Paras. All right, so we'll cut that there and we'll see what the next unit will be. All right, the Kraut armor has been. What will the next dice be? It's going to be an Airborne dice. Now, what are you going to do?
I'm going to try and hit something with indirect.
Oh my God. Oh God, yeah, I forgot about that. I probably should have gone with them first.
So this is the 6th attempt.
This is the 6th attempt to get a hit. It's a 4+. Hooray! Still not done it. Still not done it. Oh, God. I should have stayed down, you know. I was meant to stay down so I could auto-rally some stuff off, but I haven't done, so I'll leave it. Okay, now it is my guy next. All right. I can't shoot because of this guy. He's in the way. So what I'm going to do is... There's very little elsewhere that matters, is there? Yes. So I'm going to snap 2 just to get a couple of dice going.
Yeah.
I'm going to do myself.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do them. So take 2 more dice out of the bag for me. Because I'm German, I can do an extra snap 2 with my officers. So we'll resolve... These are all the dice coming out. We'll resolve that and we'll be back in just a second. So the end result was von Stauheim went for an advance and is now going to start shooting into those guys. And then the squad back here has gone for a straight up fire order. They had a pin, but they did pass thanks to his aura buff, his leadership buff. And they're going to fire into that unit as well. And then the light howitzer is going to try and get a shot into the guys down here. Now, the light howitzer will need a 5 because it's normally hitting on 3s, but then you're down, so it needs a 5 to hit. Hey! So that is again going to be 3 guys.
Bottom down.
But you're down, so it's rounded. Is it rounded up or rounded down?
I'm sure if I go down with 6 pins, the rule is that you don't get any hits.
Ah, yeah, that might be a rule.
Yeah.
I think.
If not, it should be.
I think you round up. So what we'll do is we'll just double check. But we'll come back to that one in a second. Okay, so we've double checked the rulebook and it is half rounding up, which means I will go from 3 hits to 2 hits, wounding on 3s. So I have got 2 kills, and then I will do D3 pins. Oh, it's the big 3. Oh, it's the big 3. They are 9 pins. If that was a regular squad, they'd be pinned out, but they're veterans. So I suspect a rally is probably going to be in their future, unless I can get 1 more pin on them with this unit. But we'll be back to them in a second. And then we've got von Stauheim shooting his SMG into there. Now he will be, he might be in point blank. Let's just double check. He is going to be in point blank, but you are going to be in light cover, so it's going to be 3s. He's got 2 hits and no kills, so just a pin. And the squad behind is going to have an SMG, which is going to be at long range light cover, so that's going to be 5s. No hits. An STG, which is just going to be light cover, which gets 1 hit. We'll just put that to one side for a second. And then it's just going to be, is it 4 rifle guys? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, now that the LMG is gone. And they're going to be just hit on 4s for the light cover. So that's 2 more hits. So we've got 3 hits in total. So we'll just take those out there. Killing on 5s. So yeah, that'll be another pin. And 1 kill. Do I get to pick? No.
They're all the same.
No sergeant in there.
No, you already killed him on the
first okay. So that is the end result there, guys, is this squad very pinned. This squad on 3 pins and -1 orders because of the sergeant. Tiger Fear probably doing stuff as well. I think the British push may have been blunted there. So we'll see. That's all of my Snap 2 done. We'll see what we end up with the next few dice. So the next dice is an Airborne one. Simon, do you know what you're going to do?
I do.
Okay, what's it going to be?
I'm going to go smashing through and shoot at your tank.
Oh, he's smashing through the wall. He's shooting at the tank. Okay, that'll be a move. And I think it's going to be heavy cover just because of how much is obscured there. I think it's just a 6 now because I think you'll be in half range.
I will be, yes.
So it'll be moved heavy cover, but half range.
And the machine gun into those guys.
And machine gun into the squad here. Okay, so needing a 6 to hit the sidearm of the Panzer. Oh, the Cromwell's coming for me, baby. It's coming for me. This will be moved, long range, and heavy cover. So this will be 6 followed by 6s. So 1 maybe.
Oh,
1
close.
nebby. All right, so that is the Cromwell. Let's see what the next dice is. An Airborne one. So let's see what Simon is going to do. Do you need to think, or do you have a big?
Shoot into them.
She's going to keep shooting. All right, I'm going to stay up. I'm going to stay up. I have a Panzerfaust in there.
Light cover.
And that's it. Actually, should I go down and stay down, and then yeah, I'm going to go down. So take a dice out the bag. I'm going to stay down for turn 6, and then if it goes to turn 7, I'm going to shoot your tank in the bum. So 2 misses. Because I'm down and light cover, yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, that was a quick dice. We'll just go for the next one. It's another Airborne one. Do you know what you're going to do?
I'm going to sniper them.
Oh dear. All right, can he continue his epicness? Oh my God, he's foiled my plan. So another pin marker on them.
Oh, I did kill you.
But he didn't get that Panzerfaust out of the squad. Okay, that's a down there. Okay, we will go for another dice because there's lots of little things happening here. Okay, this is probably the last dice I'm going to do on camera. And what I'm going to do, because I mean, you probably get the shot in there. I'm not too worried about it. But what I'm going to do is try and do that first. That's what I'm going to try and do. So I'm just going to go for an advance order. And my officer isn't nearby. So it's going to be a 6. And if I get this off, I'm going to try and shoot them and get 1 pin on them and make them give up. Nope. They're going to go down. And then they're probably going to get hit in the face now.
I don't know. No one's hit yet.
Yeah, okay, go down. All right, I really needed them to, like I said, I just wanted them to stay down. So next dice is going to be an Airborne one. But I'll tell you what, guys, we're going to do the rest of the turn off camera and we'll see where the dust settles at the end of turn 5. So, end of turn 5, potentially going into turn 6, the end of the game. These guys ran from there over to here, so the paratrooper was trying to get some last-minute reinforcements into the fight. I didn't manage to get a single hit. I was firing and firing and firing. I just didn't get a single hit on the squad, so they are still rocking around. Simon tried to fire a mortar round at my Panzer, but missed. And then the one thing that was important is Simon's officer, the fantastic moustache man, moved over here and actually killed my officer. Very nice. He won the battle of the SMGs. And I just moved my truck in a way to try and block off the objective there from just a run order. He's going to have to try and charge me now if he wants it. Okay, so that is the end of turn 5. Turn 6, it's not looking good for either side. My push has definitely failed. Simon has 1 squad on 9 pins, so that's not great. And
you failed to pin him out when that squad is shooting.
Yeah, I totally failed to pin him out. And so there's basically, Simon has 9 Airborne guys with 12 pins between them to try and steal my objective turn 6 or turn 7. So we'll see who gets the first dice in just a moment. All right, Simon, pick that first dice. You are back, man. It is a German dice, and I think I'm going to have to go with my Panzer because I don't want you to dial in on me because that would be very, very bad.
Yes.
And I think what I'm going to do with my Panzer is I'm going to go for advance order, so it loses the dial in.
Yeah.
And what I'm probably going to do is, same as last time, I'm going to go for a machine gun in there, and then I'm going to go for a... he's a pretty big threat, actually. So I'm going to go for a machine gun into there, and then I'm going to go for a machine gun into there. And hopefully... Oh, wait, he'll be small target.
Small target.
And I've moved. Ooh, could be risky. But we'll tell you what, we'll go for... No, we'll see with my original plan. Machine gun there and tank gun there. Does anyone want to go down?
You're still going to be hitting on...
I'll be hitting on 2s there. but if I move, it'll be 3s. So if you go down, it'll become 5s.
Yeah, may as well go down.
So he's going to go down there. I'm going to lose that before we forget. And then over here, it's going to be 4s, unless you go down, in which case it becomes 6s. He's staying up.
If I go down, I'm not going to...
Even if I move, that's how it's going to work. So, all right, let's see what we'll move the Panzer a bit, because it can't just not move, and we'll see where we end up. Okay, so I have pivoted the Panzer, I've moved it back here, and now I'm going to try and shoot into these Airborne. Now, it will be 5 to hit with the MMG. Let's see what we get. I didn't get a hit! No! They're still going. Oh my god. And then over here, it's going to be moved, and I think you're still being light cover, so it's going to be a 5 to hit the squad over there. No! Oh, the Panzer has not done anything. That is pretty bad. All right, let's see what the next dice is going to be. It's another German dice. Okay, I think again, I'm going to go with this squad now. I'm going to move into point blank, and I'm going to try and kill the officer. Now, do you want to go down?
No, I can't. Because if I go down, I've got no chance of getting to
Okay, fair enough. So
we're going to wear it.
So we're going to advance. We're going to advance into point blank, and we're going to try and kill the officer. Let's see what the end result is. Okay, so that's where they are going to end up. Now we've got 2 assault weapons in there. They are going to be hitting on 2s. So this is the SMG and the STG-44. They have all hit. We need 5s to kill. How tough are these veterans? We've got 1 of them. Now if I pick the officer, that might be important. No. And then we've got 3 rifles. Now these are going to be hitting on 3s. They're all going to hit. We just need a single 5 here. And we've got him, and that is the officer done. So we'll remove that guy off the board, and then we'll see where we stand. And with that quite dramatic assault by the German infantry, getting up close and personal, me and Simon have had a little talk, and we think that basically guarantees a draw. Because the thing is, these guys now, they're going to have to rally. They can't do anything else. And then that, even if they do, they're not going to be able to get here turn 6 and turn 7. It's just not going to happen. And likewise over here, these guys, this is dense terrain, so they can't run through it. So you're looking at probably 2 advances. They're still just not going to get round to the objective. I'm obviously nowhere near Simon's objective, so I'll definitely give him the moral victory. He made a much better push than I did. So we're going to call it a draw there. Neither side's base gets blown up. One little note I just want to say is this is a totally different game. Me and Simon have played Demolition many times, but normally we do it with Japanese. And Japanese, it's almost like an auto win for them because they just banzai across the board and then jump on the objective and kill it. Whereas this one was actually really nice that it ended up being a draw. Simon, that's your first not loss on the channel. How are you feeling?
Well, there was still a bullshit in the first turn, but
So that's your first not loss. That's it. It's only upwards from here now.
Yeah, no, I'll take that. I think I should have been a bit more aggressive with my Cromwell. Perhaps if I had the time again, I'd have started it over here.
Yeah, though I think over there it guaranteed you. It was like if you put it there, you were guaranteed not to lose.
Yeah.
And then it meant that you had a good chance of getting a win off there. It's just I had my tank and I brought my reserves in and I brought my middle squad over. So you just look at how many Germans are actually there. There's like 3 full squads. It's just a whole half my 90% of my army's over there at that point. So I think we both kind of went super defensive. But yeah, one last thing we want to do though. One last thing. We have not had an indirect fire shot hit all game. Simon, do you hit over here on a 3+? Hey! It doesn't really matter, guys, but we just really want to see what that would do. Now you will get you'll get 3 guys there. So do you want to see if you kill all 3? Hey!
And there was much rejoicing.
And there was much rejoicing. Simon, you've actually had a sniper do something, and you've had indirect fire do something.
I don't think you can really count the indirect there at the end of the game, to be fair. It's been, better off using it as toilet paper, to be honest.
Yeah, the indirect, it's because we've both been very mobile. Yeah. We've not really let each other get more than a 4 or 5, realistically, apart from sort of this one squad over here. But Simon, thank you for coming down. That was an absolutely fantastic game. I'll tell you what, I'm going to swap over. We'll shake hands on camera. Very good game. The British powers doing a great job on the battlefield. And look, guys, realistically, Simon is in control of 75% of the battlefield. He's really put me into a defensive position. So very good play from Simon there. If you've enjoyed today's battle, please consider giving it a like. If you want to see more episodes, subscribe. And if you've really enjoyed today's video, then please consider becoming a channel member or Patreon supporter. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. And of course, as always, we'll see you guys next time.